Today we'll be talking about what makes constructing a new facility for your business a success, and it's probably not what you think. Your whole career you've been told that building a facility on time and on budget will mean the project's been a success. Unfortunately, that's only partially true, and those goals are certainly not the most important from an owner's perspective. Owners, investors, and developers spend a significant amount of time, money, and resources developing a new facility for their business. So when you make that level of commitment, you want to make sure that you end up with the best possible outcome. You may only get one shot at it. It may be a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the owner's leadership team to do it right and leave a positive legacy for the company. So the goal of this video is to share some of my experiences and provide a framework to help owners focus on what's most important. So why does an owner or company need a new facility? There are many reasons, but the typical ones are your business is growing and you need more capacity. Next, your existing facility doesn't have the features or configuration you need to operate properly. You may need a new facility to compete in a new geographic market, or you need a better location to improve business. You need a facility that's more efficient and reduces operational costs. You may be leasing, but you want to own your own facility. You need a better working environment for your employees to improve health, wellness, and morale. Or finally, you're in a dated, unattractive facility and you simply need to improve your corporate image for your customers and the public. At the risk of stating the obvious, expectations are numerous when developing a new facility. These expectations will vary based on the user. For example, public guests to your facility may desire a unique experience and atmosphere with choices and the immersion of technology. Your employees need flexible, well-designed, and inspiring spaces to work. Owners seek safe, modern, hybrid facilities that efficiently support the operations and can also serve the needs of the wider company. Finally, investors want the best value facilities that can be successfully divested or sold at the end of the facility's life cycle. So satisfying these different expectations naturally leads us to developing a strategy for hitting the mark, so to speak, on these new facilities. This strategy can be broken down into two important steps. First, lessons learned, and second, design quality. First, a quick story. Earlier in my career, I worked for a large theme park in Orlando, Florida. They found themselves spending a significant amount of money on their new projects immediately after opening to correct a variety of issues. So they asked me to research some of the past projects to figure out why. We generated a list of over 2,000 modifications that were made to these projects soon after opening. These changes were required to correct efficiencies, improve operations, and to generally bring them up to company and guest expectations. We reduced that list down to approximately 300 of the top recurring issues. The results of the study were very interesting. Almost 3/4 of the post-opening projects fell into just 3 categories. These categories were 1. Building envelopes and roofs, 2. HVAC systems, and 3. The building's exterior finishes. We then incorporated these findings back into the design process to make sure these issues were avoided on future facilities. Getting back to lessons learned, owners should research and take the time to visit comparable facilities. Establishing these relationships with other owners and operators is very important. You'll learn a lot from each other. There's a difference between facility and operational lessons learned. Facility lessons learned identify design, material, and installation issues, as we just discussed with the theme park example. Operational lessons learned deal with area programming, configuration, and the usability of the facility. This involves getting input from your different departments on their needs and wants. Operational issues vary, but one example is a new high school placed its varsity weight room on the floor directly above the school's administrative offices. The outcome of that decision was pretty obvious. They tried spending tens of thousands of dollars on a floor system that would absorb the noise, and it never worked. So when you complete a lessons learned study, the information should be documented in writing so it can be integrated back into the design process. It's a simple list of things to do and not to do. The goal is to hand that list to your design team and have them make sure that these issues don't happen on your project. As the old saying goes, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Regarding design quality, success of a new facility is won or lost during design. Once the design arrow has left that bow, it's very difficult to change the trajectory. Said another way, once the design documents are complete and the bid is awarded, the only real recourse for adjustments are costly change orders, and you end up paying for those change orders in a non-competitive environment. With that said, your design consultant needs to be the best in class for the type of facility you're building. The design consultant selection should be made through a competitive qualifications and bid process. This process should include a professionally prepared RFP with a detailed scope of work. Be sure to request design firm and staff experience as well as previous client references. An industry standard form of agreement should be included in the RFP but modified to favor the owner, not the design consultant. It's best that the design consultant have regional and national experience. This broader exposure gives them a deeper body of knowledge to draw from. One other very important point. Just because the designer is local and known to the owner doesn't mean they'll provide the best value and quality for your specific project. You want to avoid hiring friends, family, and especially fellow board members. Your new facility should meet or exceed the current design standards for similar facilities that have been recently constructed. The last thing you want to do is invest your time, effort, and emotion going through this construction journey and end up with a new facility that looks and performs like a 25-year-old building. Everyone will notice this immediately. You don't want to end up saying, "I wish we would have done that." In reality, choices are just trade-offs and regrets are unavoidable, but your decisions need to be based in a good decision framework that is explainable to the project stakeholders. Now let's briefly touch on the importance of a facility's life cycle. As with everything in our world, new facilities have a lifespan. This bar shows the two primary phases of the life cycle, the development and the operational phase. There's approximately a 1 to 10 ratio of time between these phases, 1 being the development phase, the time for design and construction, and 10 being the operational phase. This means that the facility is operating approximately 10 times longer than it takes to build. The operational phase starts immediately after construction and is simply when the facility begins producing goods and services for the owner to sell. This phase ends decades later when the asset is sold or disposed of. So what are the most important measures of success for a project during both the development and operational phases? As mentioned earlier, development or construction phase success is typically measured by being on time, on budget, getting what was purchased, and getting it safely. We all understand and can agree that these are important goals. There's no wavering on this. But in reality, no one really remembers immediately after opening if the project was a little early or late or a little over or under budget. So this brings us to our main point, which is owners will only remember the long-term or operational measures of success. From an owner's standpoint, the three most important factors for a facility's success are: first, does the facility serve its intended purpose? Does it do what it was built to do? Does the new facility have the features and configuration you need to operate properly? Second, regarding quality and efficiency, is the facility easy to maintain and cost efficient? Or is it falling down around their ears and expensive to operate? I've witnessed new buildings that were so overvalue engineered during design to save cost that they had to spend almost 25% more of the original investment value shortly after opening just to get the building usable. Finally, and most importantly, has the facility acquired a unique identity? Has it become a destination? Are the users taking ownership and pride in the facility? Do they share their personal experience with others on social media and one-on-one? Are they looking around and reaching for their phones to take pictures when they walk in? Does it look, feel, and say successful? People have to want to come to the facility and be part of the experience for it to be a success. These long-term measures of success are the key factors that will be remembered every day throughout the life of the facility. And trust me, they'll be remembered long after the obsessive pursuit of cost and schedule during construction are forgotten. To wrap this up, every new facility needs to support and serve the highest purpose of your company. Remember that a well-planned and designed building can help make your business successful. This success will be directly correlated to how well the project team manages owners' expectations and design quality. Every project begins with a vision, and hopefully these perspectives will help you make the right decisions moving forward and allow you to transform your company's vision to reality. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your new project.